Or you are looking at sure. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. There's a lot of seats in the room. I think we're gonna get started. I want to welcome everybody to the dog park perspective this evening. Thank you for being here. Oh, wait, that's Thursday. I really appreciate y'all being here. I'm gonna listen more than I talk. Usually I am appreciative that you're here. I do always worry that I'll be playing to an empty room and, we had a really good ARB. I think my first perspective meeting, I've been on the job for about 3 weeks and I think we had about 130 or so show up to the ARB meeting and I think some really good things came out. I think my second one was communication and I don't think I got past about 85 or so, but I think some really good things came out of that also. One of the themes there was, people really didn't seem to know what's going on. So you'll know today in the advocate now we have a page that has a square that kind of hopefully everybody knows what's going on. So our hope tonight is that I will talk for a little bit, you will share your perspective with me. And then what I do is I always follow up with a letter to the members saying, this is what I learned. And if you feel I missed something, I typically get about 30 or 40 emails thereafter. And that's important. I just want to say that's an important part of the process because some of the people aren't here this evening and they'll give me their perspective. And from that, I'll kind of summarize what we do. And then we actually build some initiatives from these things. So, it will make a difference what we talked about tonight. So, Suzanne, I think I'll start with my rules. So Payman was a little afraid this would get out of hand. So he said he'd come in if anybody was rough, he would be my bodyguard for the evening. So really, we're gonna keep this to 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's it. If we want to talk afterwards, I'll be here. I'd like to get Suzanne out of here because I think she spent the entire last year here at your community. And so we'll be here. This is not a town hall. This is not a member meeting. I have no intention of introducing the board members who are in participation or in the audience here tonight. This is for them to just listen also. This is my meeting. This is for me to chat a little bit and share my perspective and then really to listen to your perspective. So we are going to agree to respect each other's perspective, even if we do not share the same perspective. So I think that's really important. I think that's just the art of respectful dialogue is really what it is. So we'll go next. I don't have very many slides. Okay, so I think this is an interesting concept. Where we live is where we gather. This is a very interesting operation, and like every community that I've ran and been part of, we have a dining room, but we're not really a restaurant. I don't know a lot of restaurants that will do 100 covers in the dining room while they're doing a fashion show in the ballroom, and they have 100 golfers coming at the same time for a hot dog buffet, and we're setting up for Memorial down at Boston. So a few more moving parts, and it's not to say that we aren't a dining room because we are a dining room. And what we expect of ourselves and what we want to accomplish is variety in our menu, interest, good timing, hot food, hot plates, supervision, eyes on the floor, attentive service. Those are the things that we expect of ourselves. And these are the things that food and beverage can typically be challenged with. Now, our job is to run that dining room effectively so that we can deliver all those things while we're doing a hot dog buffet for 100, a fashion show, setting up at Boswick, and doing the other things. In the last 3 weeks, the staff has executed a Mother's Day, a men's member guest, a women's member guest, Cinco de Mayo, catering the Kentucky Derby, a large wedding reception, a memorial about my husband, sorry, a memorial at Boswick, a men's one day, a fashion show, and a twilight social. So those were just some of the events that we did in and around what we did from the standpoint of just the dining operation itself. And I hope that you were able to attend those things. We survey everybody after every single event. In the last month, we've actually created dashboards that now take all of your survey information. They put it onto a dashboard and we share it with the SARA committee so they can see what the responses are to all of our surveys. I think that's important. Our survey information was getting reviewed, but it wasn't really ending up anywhere. So I'm going to kind of stop there on this one. And this one, we're going to kind of couch this around 3 different things. And I'm going to start with content. I'm curious to hear your perspective on content, our menus, our menu variety, the things that we put in front of you. We typically when you come in, you sit down and we give you a dinner menu, a grill menu, a happy hour menu. What we want to hear from you is what you think of the content. Are we throwing good events that you enjoy coming to? What can we do better with the content of our menu? That type of thing. And then what I want to talk about is quality. How do we feel about the quality of what we're doing here from the standpoint of service and food and what such? And the final thing we'll do is we'll talk about care. What we want you to feel like when you come here is that you're cared for. And I would say, my experience has been that the employees, when I look them in the eye, I think they have a very high care factor. It's a very hardworking group. Matter of fact, Jim, I think, had worked 16 days straight or something, and on Saturday when his eyeballs were around his knees, I made him take Sunday off. He just plain needed a day off, right? So I really believe that, I think we care deeply and we care enough to listen to what you want, and we care enough to make sure that we summarize that and we respond to it. So I'm not sure, Pam, I think, was helping us out. So really what we're going to talk about is content. I think I know some of what I'm going to hear regarding content of what we offer you, but I really want to hear your perspective. So we're going to let people just kind of share their perspective on, the content of our menus, and the kind of events that we're throwing and what such. So who would like to start us out?
We do have Pam Swenson coming around with a microphone. If you could just please give your name, especially if there's something we want to follow back up with you, it's very helpful.
Thank you, Susan.
Do you keep track of the things on the menu that seem to be popular? I mean, if there's something on the menu that majority of people like, and you want to turn the menu over and that disappears.
Yeah.
I hear a little bit of grumbling when that happens.
Yeah, so the answer to that is yes. In our Club Essentials setup, we can actually pull out what you ate on Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. Big Brother is watching, let me tell you. And we run a report and say that, for instance, the fried mushrooms on happy hour, huge seller, right? Super popular. I think the challenge sometimes is if I ran a restaurant or dining room where I put everything on the menu that people liked, I'd look a lot like the Cheesecake Factory, I think. And so that's a little bit of a challenge for us. At my previous community, a hamburger was not on the menu. You couldn't find it on the menu. It's kind of breaking up on me. So you couldn't find a hamburger on the menu because a hamburger was always available to you. We didn't take up the real estate to put a grilled cheese on it. So we absolutely 100% know exactly what our best sellers are. And sometimes we do rotate them off. We recently took off the fried mushrooms and I heard about it. I promise you they'll be coming back, but that will create a little bit of a sense of variety at least. So yes, we absolutely do.
Jane Selby would like to suggest consider bringing Sunday supper back, where there was salad, make their own Sunday.
Oh,
Yes.
So Sunday supper was basically kind of soup and salad bar you start out with, and then you would order off the menu for your entree.
There was one, no, that one, entree. And we had.
Oh,
I think it was very light.
okay.
And so one thing I would like to do is bring our old coleslaw back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think the people in the back, for some reason, it's jumping in and out, so I will speak louder. And I'll try to repeat the question. So, I want to address the Sunday supper. I think that's a neat idea. Something like that would have to rotate in and rotate out a little bit. I think, it's a little bit like when we used to throw barn dances. And the barn dance was great. We take all the equipment out of the greens, we throw a big country western, and 350 people show up for the first one. The next one would be 150 and we'd cancel the third one. So I think that's a great suggestion. We're gonna write that down, but we have to figure out how to rotate those in and out a little bit. Sorry, I don't have it.
Why rotate?
It's amazing the things that we get criticized for. And I would tell you that I think I would be a little cautious of just saying, nothing can really last forever. So I think I've got to figure out some way to kind of keep it interesting. So it isn't just 56 weeks of that soup and salad buffet on Sunday night. So just about. But what we'll do is we'll take everything you're talking about tonight and really kind of try to put it into the mix in some things.
Hi, my name is Alan. First, I want to say that the staff, at the club is.
Yes. Yeah.
The other thing I want to talk about is, I think the menu is good, and I think that the specials are very good. The issue I have is, unlike when you go to a restaurant, you don't go there that much. So if they have regular stuff there, you don't get tired of seeing that on the menu. I mean, if you come to the club every Friday,
Yeah,
it's the same things except for the special.
right.
And I think that you need to change it more.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Calderon, we haven't quite developed our food and beverage strategy yet. Every organization has a strategy. It says, hey, we do a complete menu overhaul every 6 weeks. We do a very big revision every 3 weeks. It becomes somewhat mechanized is what it becomes. And Mr. Calderon, what's interesting here is you might come and have lunch with your buddies on Saturday. You might come on Sunday brunch with your wife. You might come to a cocktail party on Wednesday, come to dinner on Friday. The challenge for us is when you eventually decide to go someplace special, you don't come here. So I think my question, if you put your hand in the air and just said, if we change the menu completely every 6 weeks, that's enough. 4 weeks. Okay, so our strategy should target the full menu revision every 4 weeks. I give you this for something.
That's okay, I can help.
Oh, perfect, okay.
Okay, Wendy Element. Okay, Wendy Element is like.
I will repeat the question. We're having a little.
It's really hard, because you can hear all back.
Maybe I should use that, Pam, because
I don't know, it's fading in and out.
I think I'll take that. Okay, I think this works here. So this way you can.
Thank you. So my name is Wendy Element, also known as Wendy Element Slate, but otherwise, okay, I'm having trouble. There's a lot of us that don't like the menu, just from, maybe we're fussy.
Sure.
But we eat salads. A lot of ladies eat salads. There is no reason I can't get a good chef salad, as a steady. So as a choice, if my husband wants to come here and I'm not gonna eat meat, I could have a chef salad, a Cobb salad. Those are regulars on any menu and easy enough for you.
Sure.
I'm told that eat the Barony salad. It's so great. It doesn't appeal to me. But there are typical salads that a lot of us eat.
Yeah.
There's no reason you can't keep them on, because I do agree changing the menu is good, but some of us need the salad. The other complaint I had is I've had bad omelets. I love Sunday morning. I like your Sunday morning brunch.
Yeah.
But I've had bad omelets and it's not your staff. I don't know what's happening.
Is it overcooked or is it?
It's either overcooked or undercooked. It hasn't been undercooked. That's
Okay,
overcooked. A
okay,
lot of ingredients. I don't know what the story is, but they can fix it.
okay. I think we can fix that. Yeah, I'm gonna start in the front room.
Hi, I'm Sharon Potter. My husband will agree with me.
Stan, I totally agree too.
Well, the one thing we had come up here for was the prime rib, and it was not good. It's very tough. Instead of having it every Wednesday, Sunday, why don't we make it more of a special, but make it better? And make it more expensive than,
Yeah.
but don't give us meat that we can't cut into. That's one. I do not like fish. So I was told today, well, we live in a seafood area. If I want seafood, I can go to a seafood restaurant. But every time I ask for a special, it's always seafood. I said, what about a non-seafood special? And my last thing is down at the pool. The special has been the same for I think 3 weeks now. The steak salad, BLT, and hamburger. And it's not rotating and people are sick of it. I thought a lot more variety. Chicken livers for a month.
Yeah, my name's Cliff Simmons. This is supposed to be content, I guess, you didn't get to quality yet, another
But you could,
conversation.
you know, we can cross over.
Yeah, but content wise, I think the content of the menu's poor.
Okay.
And repetitive,
Yes.
and there's some of the appetizers. I can't even think of where else I could get those appetizers.
Ooh.
Pickle shrimp. Chicken wings, because those were not chicken wings. So, the one appetizer that was good was the tacos, and they disappeared.
Yes.
So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we've been here, we've had access to 2012, but most of these people have been here a lot longer than us full time. We started coming full time 3 years ago. We used to plan our trips down here for Friday night. We get here like 3 o'clock after driving 12 hours. Get washed, get to the club house at 4:30, because if we didn't get there by 4:30, we sure as hell weren't getting a seat at the bar. And we enjoyed happy hour on Friday nights. Ton of people there, lots of conversations, little hors d'oeuvres. And the menu was always fairly consistent as far as there's basics. A turkey club was a turkey club back then, not a turkey sandwich. Fish and chips was fish with chips, not what it is now. So there was all those kind of normal staples, and then there was always 2, 3 specials. And they were kind of somewhat normalized specials, things that most people would like.
Was that a dinner menu or was that a happy one?
You had a grill menu, you had a dinner menu, and you had 3 specials.
Gotcha, okay.
The dinner menu was less than what you have now.
Sure.
The grill menu was somewhat similar, but better. And then they had 3 specials. So you didn't really get that bored.
Yeah,
We're lucky if we come here once a week.
okay.
It's the same menu. It just baffles me. We came here on Friday night 2 weeks ago. Asked for a pretzel at 6:30, 6:35. Response, and I know the staff is very good, most of them. Response, no chance. Can't get a pretzel after 6:30. That's the rules. When I came on Saturday night,
Nobody's here.
at 7:15, there's nobody here. We asked for pretzel, we get pretzel. Okay? Maybe somebody in particular wasn't here that night. We got pretzel. So it's, these are the things that I'm hearing all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I can decide that, you know what, I don't need to eat here, I'll eat somewhere else. We used to come here 3 times a week.
Because that variety.
Variety, and consistency and decent quality. I don't expect to come here for my anniversary go-to meal. I have an anniversary once a year that I have to remember or else. So we go where boss says go. So I don't, Friday night, Friday night, we got here, got washed, went to the restaurant, enjoyed happy hour, and I had prime rib because it was the only time she would let me have it because the doctor said I had prime rib. So I had it on Friday nights. Now I can only get it on Wednesday and Sunday. It's bizarre.
Was it on the menu full time?
Every Friday.
Yeah.
And we did come to Sunday supper. Every time we were here, we came to Sunday supper. It wasn't a huge turnout. 40, 50 people would come to Sunday supper. Salad, couple of 2 to 3 entree options that you would have, and a Sunday bar.
And a salad bar.
Salad. So I guess my point is that was pre-construction and COVID. And the world changed. I'm not sure why it changed so much for us.
Yeah, I don't think our face changed really, or the fact is that much. I don't think something.
I agree with everything Cliff just said. I can almost sit down and accept that. I don't want to poo-poo that special down at Mackey's because that egg salad BLT is very good. It's not special. Special, I mean, it's there every day. I think you're special, honey. My big complaint, issue is recommendation related to the pretzel. The pretzel may not be available at 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the evening, but it's not available at 2 or 3 in the afternoon either. And when you come in from a round of golf at 1:30, 2 o'clock, you sometimes don't feel like a big sandwich and so forth that you prepare for dinner. Going out or staying in or whatever, and you just like to have a pretzel or my favorite is the spring rolls. Something simple that you can even share with others. And it doesn't happen, even though sometimes I'll ask for it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes I'll get it. And most of the time not. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. It's on here, not until 5 o'clock. Yeah. Anyway, I'd like to see that change and the fish and chips. I used to think chips were French fries and they're not. I'm not sure what they are.
I haven't had fish and chips, too. It's with French fries.
No, don't.
Okay, I'll look into that. No, I want to say, I'm very glad. I'm very happy because I don't walk on water, I don't make square circles, and I don't read minds. And so the only way that we can have change is by hearing what you have to say, and then us actually responding to it. That's the second part of the recipe.
My name is Laura Collins. What I would like to see is more simple items. When we come in after golf, sometimes it's not quite lunch, not quite dinner. I'd love to have something like a quesadilla or regular chicken wings. Or that's something you can share and have a decent bite to eat. More shareable options. You don't want to order, sometimes we do half sandwiches and we split the fries, whatever, but I'd really like more simple food. And for dinner, like I tried to get into Italian night and it sold out quickly. So that means that maybe we want something simple like a chicken parmesan or some spaghetti and meatballs once in a while.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to.
Yeah. So when I first arrived here, January, little cup of coffee in December, I noticed we never fed people between 4 and 5. That was kind of one of our strategies, and we decided, hey, that's probably not a real successful strategy. So we kind of ended up having the grill menu, and then I noticed originally the happy hour I think was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then it was football on Saturday, and I really couldn't keep track of what it was. So we really did try to revise our strategy and say, hey, we're gonna have a happy hour menu every day of the week from 4 to 6:30, I think it is. And so, that was really good. And I think, we are about rules and we are about relationships. And so, we do need to make sure that we don't have hard and fast rules, but certain things do start and stop. So I think it's just something we have to look at from the standpoint of what is on that menu, from 4 to 5. Is it just a reuben sandwich, or can you actually get appetizer types? It's something that we will consider. I will come back. I'm trying to get to this side here too.
Yeah, Joe Walter, a couple of things. I guess I just best describe a lot of these menus as frankly pathetic. They are so skimpy and you only have to go to a few restaurants in the area and see the offerings that they have for happy hour, for small plates, for salads, for regular dining. And I don't understand in almost 2 years or a year that we're open, that we can't get this right. The other thing which baffles me is quality control. And there's nothing more frustrating to me to have a wonderful relationship dealing with my waitress or waiter. And I order some weird things sometimes and they get it all written down and right and into the kitchen. And then here comes the poor person that is charged with delivering the goods to the table and arrives with something that hardly recognizable. It seems to me simple quality control is you put in the items that the waiter, waitress the server puts in. And that I assume gets sent to the kitchen and they make things and they put it on a tray. And this poor person that's delivering never sees what's on this tray? Is this what was really ordered? And they come to the table with stuff that nobody at the table sometimes even ordered.
I can tell you, there's just, and a lot of this has to become more mechanized. We need process systems that do this kind of thing. Now, I would say when I arrived, you had 3 items on your happy hour menu. Today there's 12. So we're moving in the right direction. So we just need to make sure we get the right thing. All right, I'm just keep working my way down this side. Well.
My name's Jim Sikowski and primarily I come up here for Friday or every day for lunch. So, I think my frustration with the menu, which Scott and I have talked about. And the one thing that bothers me most is it seems like every restaurant should have hamburger, hot dog, fish sandwich, chicken sandwich, not fried. It can be grilled or fried. And we're getting old. It's not gonna be fried all the time.
And that's a good thing. Somebody else.
Susan Ross, we're talking a lot about the items that are on the menu. And really, my view is that it's not what's on the menu right now. If you change the menu and add more items, it doesn't make any difference because there's absolutely no consistency with the food coming out of the kitchen. It's either burnt to a crisp. And that's what's unacceptable. We gave the clubhouse several shots and we haven't been back for 6 months because the food is horrible.
I think, here's the thing, we respect all perspectives, even if we don't share them, and there's some truth, when she says she's not back for 6 months, that says something. So.
Scott Joe Solo. First off, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to do this. It's been a long time. Member of your life, and you've been a ray of sunshine. Aside from that, talking about the food. Not time to be. The reality is we're blessed. We're in Hilton and we have so many great available. We have a clubhouse that is our focal point that we want to bond and enjoy ourselves. A lot of us on fixed incomes. The reality is when we eat at the club as a couple, we have a couple of drinks,
it's $120, $130 a wrap, just for the two of us to eat. I have asked over the years, why don't we have a special evening? A burger, night, a taco night, a pasta night, something that's fairly priced, encourages you at 3 or 4 o'clock to say to your wife, let's go to the clubhouse, it's burger night. Or as I look around the room, we're missing a lot of young couples in here. What entices them to? We need that young family. And until we price a menu that's more affordable and amenable to bring those people in, I think we're missing a lot of the marketplace, quite frankly. And again, being Italian, I know with the pasta, you could have 5 different sauces, all kinds of macaronis, and just drop them and have variety at a fair price. Just something.
And yes, out a lot of the events we laid out the calendar for 25. Our goal is to kind of get that in your hands, say November. And then we actually laid out a lot of just a la carte things that we should be doing, you know, Taco Tuesdays, pasta night, burger night, all that kind of stuff, Jim. So we, by both respect and share.
Hi, Tracy Hogan. I just want to say I love the special nights.
Yeah.
You know, I think that anything big is done really well. Like any, you know, the special nights, I think that they do a great job. And I hope that continues. The other thing is just to reiterate, like after golf, you know, like in the afternoon, that there was just a little bit more of the small things at, you know, decent prices. They don't have to be like the same as happy hour. They could be a little more or, you know, whatever, but just offer. You know, that's just what I think would be great to have.
Good. All right. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Deborah Geiger. I'd like to know some statistics on the clubhouse itself as far as how many people are coming in on a nightly or weekly basis? Is that above or below expectations? And how are we doing financially with so many people disgruntled with a lot of the menus of having, you know, is there a set number of people that come every week or the same people? Or are we getting fresh new people in that says, you know, I want to try it? We've been 3 times since we've been here for a year, well, I guess about a year. And each time we said we won't go back. And I wonder about I'm talking about quality. Caesar salad, spinach artichoke dip was just, the quality was terrible. And I'm thinking, how can you mess up a Caesar salad? So if you could just give me a little.
So I was actually kind of staying away from this because I think this is more just to hear what's going on. In the month of, what are we in now, May? In the month of April, we served 6,600 lunch and dinner entrees. That does not cover happy hour. That doesn't cover anything. That is just an entree that went out. So if you came in and had anything off the happy hour menu, that's not in that number. The clubhouse is blowing the doors off of what we're doing right now. May is absolutely historically off the charts. June is absolutely just, the numbers have been huge. Now, let me oh, you are. And my point is, that's not why I'm here tonight. You know, we're excited that we have some energy, but energy is fragile. Right? Energy can go away just as quick as it comes. You know, I love Friday night in the bar and everybody's having a great time. It can go away as quickly as that, right? So our job is about being better, right? The things that we're hearing tonight will make us better. These will become initiatives and we will be better, right? And that will attract the people that have lost faith in us or who haven't tried us or whatever that is. So I'd kind of like to stay away from the stats right now. And we can share any of that with you. We share that with Sarah on a monthly basis. And we really stay away from the hurrahs. You know, we're looking for how do we get better. So, yes, sir. And now I'm coming to the other side.
My name is Tim Kessler. First off, you know, beautiful new clubhouse, we spent a lot of money. My personal opinion, we could combine our food service that we had prior to the shutdown and move that into this clubhouse. We'd have a winner. I love the concept of, would you like the dinner menu? But you know what? I'm feeling a little more casual tonight. Give me the grill room menu, which is more robust than that little tiny menu we have. That's my personal opinion. I do not expect. If 20% of the people in the room agree with me, that's probably pretty good.
I had a hard time thinking anybody would like less.
Okay, well, so what, you know, what I'm saying there is you as a general manager, you can't say yes to everybody. Saying yes to everybody is a losing proposition. I've looked at each one of your prospective meetings. This is the first one I came to live. And the reason why I came live is I actually wanted to say something. And when I wanted to say something, I compliment you with the interaction you had with the members. And I like some good old pontification, just like the next guy. Tonight, I congratulate you. In the beginning, the first time I heard you say, at a previous club, we didn't even have a bird. It's the first time I've heard you mention a previous club. What I want to say to you, it's okay to talk about your previous clubs. That's why we hired you. I looked at your LinkedIn profile. You've been at many clubs. I'd like to hear a combination of what do you think as members, but we also hired you. I'd like to hear you say, what are the top 3 things you've seen elsewhere that worked really well that maybe we want to consider? So I'd like to see from you, I want to get our money's worth from you.
I appreciate the discussion. I would tell you, I think the people that work closest with me realize I don't hold my opinion to myself too much. You know, these meetings are not about me, these meetings are about you. And there are a ton of things that I've seen in other places that I'm talking about with Sarah and your finance committee and your marina work group and your F&I and all that kind of stuff. And actually, you know, I think there's a number of you, I would thank a lot of you, because I think really, I look at a number of you and I've met with you individually, we've worked on something that's important, I think moves the community forward. So, you know, this isn't about me talking to you tonight. You know, I've got plenty of things that I think we can accomplish. And Jim and I have talked about a lot of those things, and you know, we'll get to them. So, all right, I'm on this side of the room now.
What are they? Give us an example.
All right. Well, so we have a fish that I think I sold 1 billion. It was called a brandy fillet, right? It was a signature tenderloin with a chutney over the top of things. I think I sold so many of those. If I ever saw another one, I think I'd shoot myself. We had brandy ice. It was something that at the end of your meal, we brought everybody a little brandy ice, right? And let me tell you what a brandy ice is. You take the cheapest ice cream humanly possible. Okay, so you take Blue Bunny ice cream. And it has so much air in it that you blend in a bottle of tequila and a bottle of brandy, and it's the most delicious thing you'll ever put in. And we brought little tiny brandy ice to you at the end of your dinner. When you started dinner, we brought you buttered, warm saltines. That's one step up from a drug, but that's called fat and salt. And your brain will love me forever. You know, and I can go on and on and on about the things that I think, because it's the little things. It's when we serve a salad, and with that salad, we serve a cold fork, right? It's tactile. It's something that says, hey, they care, right? And there's tons of these things, but I don't want to give you too much of your money. I'm gonna get my steps in. Well, he deserves to get his money's worth, so let's just say he was right.
Hi, I'm Margie Giardo and it's Hungarian. Anyway, just a couple of things that I was remembering, and maybe that other golfers can help me. I recollect that in the afternoon, didn't there used to be chili in a pot? Or am I hallucinating? Yeah, so to kind of add on to what people are looking for after golf, I kind of remember the chili and chips and that. And then I've talked to a lot of people, and the one thing that a lot of us kind of would like to have maybe once in a while as a side is kind of an old fashioned thing, not hard, a baked potato.
I think we can handle that. That's right.
You know, if I name Steve Quick, it's been bouncing around my head for a few years, is coffee at Mackey's in the morning. Most of us are hardwired to get up a lot earlier than we want to, and we can't unwire ourselves. So as long as we're up.
Yeah.
You talk about socialization, you know, it's a beautiful place, it's a beautiful time of day. Coffee's not that hard. So, you know, it's not that effort.
Hi, my name is Jane Bryce, AKA Pretzel Lady. With a sign of questions, but question about pretzels and having it offered more times. I may be wrong, but are they not, they're frozen somewhere, product?
No, we purchased them from a company here.
Okay,
I think we frozen and thawed.
Yeah.
Yep.
so they could be on tap. Easily, if one might request that during the off hours.
I would say like this, I think that if a pretzel is something our member would want, and we have the ability to put a man on the boat. Because, you know, they're just, you know, we can't be resistant to these things, right? We gotta open our minds and say, you know what, we can do this, you know, so.
Okay, and then the second one. Space, what say, before COVID, they mentioned about prime rib night. We were offered 2 cuts of that. We were offered the smaller cut and T2 and the larger cut. And of course, a different in price. But I was wondering if that could be, you still have your prime rib nights, but you can offer 2 cuts. One more. The idea of the coffee. I brought this up so many times to have at Mackey's Grill in the morning. I'm there at 6:30 or 7 in the morning sometimes. I suggested, this is Moss Creek, you don't have to have a server. You have the big coffee pot and the honor system, and they'll put it. I don't know whether that would work or not, but probably not, but you having to have somebody on the clock outside plugging in. I
would say that, you know, everything we do takes a person. So whether we have a person put out 6 or 11 or whatever, and we hate to make anybody not honorable, obviously. So, you know, sometimes coffee just may need to be provided. So,
Yes.
No, I wouldn't be.
Hi, I'm Linda Brown and I love salads. I love salads and I would like, please free the Greek. The wedge.
Yeah.
And I want to be part of the solution, so what I would suggest is maybe put them on rotation, keep 2 on the menu and then bring them in and out, for special events.
you know, I appreciate that because we do struggle, you know, we put all the salads on, we just kind of leave them there, you know, I think we get a little trouble because things get boring. So I think, you know, having a rotation of 8 of the classics, right, and every 2 weeks, a couple roll on and a couple roll off. And that type of thing, so we'll be back, I already got that side of the room, so I'm gonna finish up over there at the end.
I'm Marilyn Yantis, and I happen to be one of the ambassadors here under Mary Jane. And whenever we have new people, Friday night used to be the big night at the club that I would always tell new people, come up to the club, there'll be lots of people to meet. And now I talked to somebody on the board, they said, oh, just tell them to keep coming up to the club. Well, we were here last Friday night and there was about, I'd say 1/3 of the number of people that were normally here when we were used to Friday night. And I would like to see Friday night become a big night again.
Friday's actually been one of the busier nights. Last Friday, I think we had a wedding reception. And I think that limits those kind of things, but that's the energy we're talking. Everybody wants to walk in the clubhouse and feel that energy, right? That's what makes us want to be here. So, all right.
You all make me smile so much. I love this community. Just to the point of the coffee, two suggestions. This came up before, down at the pool where we used to have a little step bar before Mackey's came in. Are you aware where that was?
Yeah.
Yes. Someone suggested a few weeks ago to me, and I thought it was a great idea, that because Mackey's gets so busy at times, especially where we're in the height of the hot season, maybe have that section be drinks and some types of snacks where people might not want to go to stand in line and have a full luncheon. Maybe that could be drinks, all types of drinks, and therefore maybe a coffee bar. The other one I just want to suggest is, when we have a very busy night, such as a Friday night, at the bar, could the end of the bar be designated to be maybe a line where people stand in line to get drinks, rather than everybody reaching over the bar when the bar is full? Could there be like a line system where there'd be just the person pouring drinks for people that might be coming into a meeting?
So we actually record these, so we can take all these notes and obviously go back through them and say, okay, what can we apply? You know, what's easy, what takes a little bit more work, and kind of work our way through the list a little bit. So nothing here gets lost in the shuffle. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Coco Kowal, and what I wanted to say is I think that we moved here, we thought, because I've lived on Hilton Head since '84, and coming into this community, one of the things that really attracted me was the people that work here. And like Jen and Tracy and Crystal and Hakeem, I mean, it was such. And I really think that I want to thank those people, because that people make the experience too. And I think we're training some new people that are maybe, not up to the speed yet, but I see them trying really hard. And I think that adds a lot to the experience, making a mistake, people make mistakes, but I've never been in any club anywhere on this island where the staff is so genuinely kind.
Let's go on. It's Lisa, it's Carmen, it's Dawn, it's Susanna, it's Melissa. And the people you don't see in the back. I mean, we have amazing stewards who wash our dishes. We have amazing people that mop our floors. This is a crew that cares very deeply. So we just need everything else to live. I think that should set our standard, right? That's the level that we should try to shoot from everything else. Right? That's not what it is.
I got a question. I'm Jeffrey Natale, and I play golf. And I'm wondering, now that we have a shotgun start for the month of June, or for many days in the month of June, what are the plans to feed the golfers when they come in off the golf course? I know years ago we used to have a buffet type thing, but I know it's going to be very difficult to timely feed the golfers.
Because I've never been at Musgrave during this period of time, and so that's something I need to spend some time thinking about and solving the problem. And with the comings and the goings of 100 people, we want to have a recipe that works. So, excellent, thank you.
I'm gonna make sure you get. This lady, right?
Hi, Jimmy Jordan, John is my husband, and we've been here for 25 years. So I can tell you, heard a lot of this before. I've been on the House Committee, which was what it used to be called when we took into consideration food and beverage as well as the decor and outside decorations and all of that. But I just want to tell you that, you know, we have gone through a lot of changes over the years, 25 years that I've been here. And I know there might be some of you that have been here even longer. I don't know. But there are a lot of new people. So you have to understand that as we greet new people, younger people start coming in, they are going to want different things. And so we are all open to them, right? And we are going to make changes, but it takes time. You know, in the summertime, I don't know what the percentage is, but there are a lot of people that leave Moss Creek and go to their summer homes. So you have a different clientele coming and going in the community. So I think if you take all these things into consideration, we will get there. I really will. But I think Scott's doing a great job.
Well, and I think at the end of the day also, it's, you know, what's important is, you know, we're hearing what you're saying. We're gonna write you a letter and say, this is what we heard, right? And then we have to create strategies that says, this is what we plan to deliver, right? And so that's how we make sure some of this stuff happens.
Anyway, I'm Debbie Segura Wigan, and I think you have a great place. People. But I think the food is bland. I think if you, everything, put this on the menu, this on the menu, a small menu, have very flavorful. Lots of different tastes, you know, as a chef, you know, there's the Mediterranean, and then there's the Middle Eastern, and a lot of different tastes. And that may go with the individual special nights or whatever. But the taste of the food, I've lived a lot of places, I've lived overseas, I've lived a lot of places in the United States. So I personally have a lot of taste buds that need to be tuned in, but I just, you know, listening to everybody, and when I go out with people, we've only been here for 2 years. And it's always kind of like, well, this. But anyway, so that's what.
That's kind of how we're living life.
I'm here about that. Talking about taste.
Put your hands.
And we were on cruise. And.
What did I think of?
That's what I thought out because they, we was good. In the evening, we were in Jamaica and talking about different kinds of food. The food was excellent. The next day, we were back for lunch here and it was. So I just want to say that my opinion, those 2 days was great job.
We love that, but we know what we need to accomplish. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you. I think the staff worked, you know, those 3-day member guests, you're just kind of going and going and going. And so it was pretty fun. So hold on, Rob.
Thanks, Ken. You're welcome. So I've been keeping score. My perspective is content is a fail, quality is a fail, experience is A+. That's what I heard. Okay, and I think we're gonna get there, but Scott,
Yes.
when?
4 months in, so.
No, but this is long, you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
You're only 4 months.
Yeah. Look at them.
Wait, go ahead.
But I sent out my letter. Sure, good question.
Yes. I'm Carolyn Ballard. And yes, I'm talking about something someone mentioned earlier. You know, when we come in here after lunch and play in golf for 4 hours or however long it takes, sometimes it takes another hour for us to get our food and eat. And what somebody talked about, I don't remember who it was, but they used to have
big pots of soup or chili or something sitting out there, so you could come in and just grab it by yourself. And they would bill you for it, and you'd have something to eat, and you could get out of here in a timely manner. And also, the servers aren't running back and forth for little bowls of soup or whatever.
It's a little maybe off. It'd be helpful for us to get a perspective on what is the charge by the board to the kitchen staff in terms of margins, pricing, are we trying to break even, only use a certain amount, whatever. Because the pricing in the quality in the portions are baffling to me sometimes. We had an opportunity where we played golf with another couple, came in, decided to do Sunday brunch on Sunday. And we ordered omelets, it's a Sunday brunch. The omelet was smaller than a taco. It looked like it had been made with one egg and it was pretty tasteless, cold, etc. And I'm saying to myself, gee, somebody wants to make a lot of money on $14.50 or whatever the price was, somewhere in that range for this. We go to Frankie Bones the next week on Sunday after church. I get this omelet that I can take half of it home and have another meal. And so I'm not sure what the charge to this kitchen is. Make more money, reduce portions, quality, and that kind of thing.
So I would tell you, the board is not, that's my, the board does not come in and say, we want a 1 egg omelet for $10. We want so, I think Sunday brunch is one of my delights. I love Sunday brunch. I actually work a lot of Sundays. I think Sunday brunch, coffee, I love the fact coffee's included, the fact you come in and eat brunch for $14. And mimosas, and it's one of my, I love breakfast when I get off campus, and I take Becky out someplace with them to go to breakfast, and I eat my breakfast for $12, then I get charged $5 for a cup of coffee, and to me, that's a little bit of a micro insult, so. I just say I do like the Sunday brunch, but not 1 egg omelets.
I hope this is an easy one, but we get an email wanting to know how our last dinner was. Well, some of us, in spite of people that only come every 2 years, we come more than once a week. It doesn't give a date as to when, you don't always get it. That you had dinner there. So, yeah, so if you want us to give us to give you our opinions of what that was like, so you deal.
I'll think with that. When we serve, we know everything about what goes out, who responds, when you send it back, all that fun stuff. So it sounds like I need to look at it kind of from your side of things, more so than from our side of things. Okay.
I'm Steve Wilkins. Just curious, why don't they have salt and pepper on table? Yes. By the time it comes, done eating, so. Simple.
I don't have a good answer, so I'm gonna like the flag and put that in. That might be one of our quick wins.
Kate Shea, and I'm married to an Irishman. So we don't do a lot of vegetables and all that kind of stuff. So one thing that we used to do here is have a lunch menu all day long. The full lunch menu all day long. So that we usually come several times a week. And you can get a tuna sandwich instead of having. And same thing after golf, I've heard a lot of people say, after golf. And grab something quick, but instead of the grill menu that they have.
Is it a better menu for this community to say, we have lunch menu all day, and then we have a 6-item dinner menu that changes? Because that seems to be what was the culture, I think, before was, you know, and maybe not 6 items, but 10 items on a dinner menu or something. You know, well, all the menus should rotate in some fashion, but I wonder, oh, I'll doodle on that one myself. Watermelon, I've heard that a couple times actually. So,
Hi, I'm Steve Bernard. This is not so much a comment as maybe a business question. First of all, is quality's not so good. Want different types of menus. First of all, I think the quality is pretty good.
Yes.
I understand that the issues about the different menus. We have a very large community that's very diverse. And I think 30% of the community does not eat here. Good guess? Okay, so.
Right, the reason I say that, because we have people that are right. And I think if you were kind of focused on one thing, I don't want this long.
But you're not allowed to. If in fact, we had 90% of the community eat here, would you have the ability to have many more options? Quality? Would you like it for normal stuff? Would you like for just, you know, the basic burgers? And if that's a fact, what do we do to get 30%?
There's a couple things we're talking about behind the scenes, just to get food to the 1,000 homes here. You know, previous meeting I had, we had a very robust to-go program, right? You could drive through and pick up a lasagna, a chicken enchilada, things that you just would take home and bake, right? So you call up and you say, oh, I'd like a lasagna for 2, and you would literally take it home and bake. So having in the home, we had, by the previous community, we had 950 homes. When we went through COVID, we were basically your grocery store, and then we also had a very robust to-go program. Well, when COVID ended, we didn't stop. So that was another way to get people involved. If we do our job right, this is my greatest hope and one of my largest fears. My hope is that if we will get to the point where you cannot get a table in your dining room unless you make a reservation weekend. That would be my hope, right? That means we are so popular that says we need to open another restaurant. So we will have some capacity issues. You know, I had a member email me and she said, you know, hey, why are we closed on some, member yes. So we had 180 people. And the question was, hey, why do you have to close for the member guest dinner? Because we built a kitchen that should be able to handle both. Right. Your kitchen handles terrific. You just can't sit 180 people in this room with a dance floor debate, right? So you're gonna have capacity issues. It's a very strange building too, I have to say. It's a very, as we look at events and how we're trying to not have, you know, 1980 holiday ballroom parties all the time, and how do we integrate this stuff? It's a very interesting building. And Melissa would tell you the same thing, just figuring out how to use it. So, you know, we would have some capacity issues, I think, at that point. If 90% of the community was coming here, we've got to figure out how to feed 100% of this group. I have some younger families who are busy with children, and I said, hey, we have a really robust to-go program, we'd come by and pick up twice a week. So we clearly have some opportunities in the goal of feeding everybody in 1,054 homes in here. All right, looking around. Oh, are we at an hour and 15 minutes? That's what my rules.
Not yet.
Okay.
You got 14 minutes.
All right, I got 14. You got 14 minutes.
Thank you, LeBron, Gary. I just want to say, in deference to Jim Sikowski, I'm sorry, Jim, apologize.
I think you went to eat.
Okay. The fried chicken was amazing. I'd like to see it on the menu once in a while,
Yeah.
right?
So would I. My cardiologist does not agree, but it's a great product. Yeah, that's it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have one.
Thanks, Scott. Chris Latimer. I don't know what kind of oysters Lenny was ordering and buying years ago. The oysters we have now are absolutely not select. They are smaller, they are tougher, they're cooked. They're not there at all. So just give me a better oyster. Seriously, spend the money, I'll pay the money. We're simple folks here. Nothing to belabor the Caesar salad. I'm not talking about putting anchovies in it, right? But it's not what it was. It's not, it doesn't taste like Caesar salad. Get the New York Times, book out. Get it home. Look it up. Bring it in here and serve it.
I don't allow Jim to make food at home and bring it in. If I would have one last meal, someone said, what's the last thing you could eat? It'd be oysters. And I don't care if they're raw, sauteed, flambéed, fried, if I can chase them on the floor from always. Good with all this. And I think most of the time we carry the Virginia blue points is what I think we're bringing in. So, and I love oysters. I can't say I eat a lot of food at your club.
You gotta bring back the Maryland Selects.
So
That's what you have.
okay.
These are the ones you want.
Okay.
Bring back the French dip.
Yes. It was on a special day. I'm coming over that direction.
Anything else? He also needs to, if he's gonna bring in the select oysters, he needs to find a better beef purveyor because the prime that he's bringing in is nowhere close to prime. It's not even select.
I'll come back. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll be right back. You gonna have my 10,000 steps?
Yeah, I just have another idea. There's a lot of us that don't play golf and a lot of new people. What about having us like happy hour on Friday to bring in everybody from not just the golf,
Yeah.
but there's pickleball, there's people like me that are injured and can't go anywhere, but anyway, just.
We do happy hour 6 nights a week from 4 to 6:30. And I think you need to do that. Menu needs to be interesting too. We can't just let the happy hour be what it is for me.
Hi, Sue Forrest, and this is just a tiny little thing, but we've got little things here lately. And it's the tuna fish. When you're no money and you're very poor and you go to the tuna fish aisle, you get the cheapest you can find and it's chunk light, almost inedible. We advertise it on our menu that it's chunk light tuna. Oh, and there's wonderful olive or white tuna that we all.
Thank you for the easy win. You can't get much smaller than Salt or Pepper. And yeah, that's probably the easiest.
My mother always loves to see.
Hi, yeah. We talk a lot about the private club experience, and I do want to compliment the staff in the clubhouse because they have started using names and greeting people by names as they come in, and that is such an important part of coming to the clubhouse and enjoying the experience.
Things for your new employees. You know, I came to the community, we had 1,900 members and I really knew the majority of them. And then I showed up with all y'all. It's still scary, you know, it's like, I feel like I should do better and I got all these things in my head and so it's very, you know, we have a wonderful group for some of the new folks no longer. It's very scary for a new employee to come in here and that's something that we will spend time training. We used to have things called the name game and it would be like 10 pictures and 10 names and you kind of the ways to kind of alleviate the fear of these new employees who come up to the table for the first time and great has to you and Lisa sent you a birthday card and Melissa, you know, carrying you in your chair and here comes Bob, right? Bob's like, oh, you know, so that's something we have. Oh. Right, Suzanne, how much time do we have left?
Oh, you have 6 minutes.
I have 6 minutes, so, okay.
So, TV shows, chefs taste their food. So is that unreasonable? And is there any kind of quality of, from the chef, to our plates of someone testing the food on every?
Yeah, so typically when you're in a kitchen, they'll have a full container of spoons. So and these are the spoons that we will go around with, we'll stick in sauce, we'll stick in things, and then we don't put it back in that same container. But that's pretty standard practice.
We're concerned about getting the young families here. Do we have a children's menu?
We do, and we should have angel hair pasta on a children's menu. You know, we've got some work to do on our children's menu. There's some things on there that feel a little adultish to me, you know, mac and cheese, right? You know, those kind of things. So we got some work to do on our children's menu.
Hi, I'm Jens Volbeck. You heard from my wife already, talk about the member guests. I'm gonna be in the minority here, apparently, because we've had guests here from Berkeley Hall, from Rose Hill, Hilton International, from Sun City, from Pinehurst, and all come here for dinner. They've all said they love the ambiance here. They love the fact that when we come in here, they say, Mr. and Mrs. Volbeck, welcome. And to our guests, they like the food. And I don't know what the gentleman was eating and drinking that spends $150 for 2 of them, but we've never gone out of here spending more than $75. And we're just, this kitchen here is for a small community. We cannot have 50 items on our menu in here because you can't have that much food for a community of as small as we are in here. So I have no complaints.
You know, this is really an exercise in just being a man, right? That's all it is. That's a big theme in my life. You know, I can be a better husband, I can be a better brother, I can be a better club manager. So we're just seeking to be better. And I really appreciate that. I think our staff pleases a lot of people, right? We have a lot of victories. I promise you, my brain is wired like every other human being. I can have 10 victories in a week and beat myself up over one loss, right? And I try to do a good job mitigating that because I know where we can get to. But the things that are coming out of this discussion, this is what you want, right? This is what you are thinking, not what I'm thinking.
And I agree with what he just said, but I just, the thing is, as long as you know that we change it, like you suggested, every whatever, many weeks, because I do come here. You know, so when you only have, you're like, oh, what am I gonna eat? But I love coming here. So if you're like, I don't know what I can eat. That's.
Well, I think you do love coming here. What we want to create is a deeper love of coming here. It's really what we want. And, you know, I remember 2 previous communities where, you know, a member came in and had breakfast, and they came to a tournament, and then they went to a party, and then they had dinner with a friend, and then they had happy hour. I remember they were sitting there and I talked to him, I was actually talking to the table next to him, and I heard the gentleman go to his wife and say, you know, tomorrow, let's go somewhere special. So, you know, we would love to be your special place. We just want you to love being here. And I think, you know, things you're talking about, this is not our shadow stuff. It's things that we have to set some objectives around. And we need to hold ourselves accountable for it. And Rob wants to know when we're gonna think about that. But, you know, we do need to deliver. And we get it. We want it as much as you all do. Maybe more sometimes, but, okay, so how much time do we have? At 3 minutes. Okay. Oh, all right, Mr. Nelson. You got 30 seconds. I got 2 minutes.
30 seconds. Hey, Scott, you and I talked about this. My brother's club up by Boys Island. Their menu I gave to you, everything's $10 cheaper. And what they're trying to do is get everybody into the dining room so they don't go out to eat at Litchfield, you know, down the road. Because $10 more expensive. And they take the difference, because no club makes a profit on food service. They pass it on in dues. So that's an essential thing for increasing it.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. You know, I think at the end of the day, you know, is there anywhere you go out and get cheaper drinks? No. I would say, yeah, that's. I think we have pretty good food prices. You know, I think our food prices, you know, I think they're in a good place. I think, you know, if you raise the quality, if you raise the experience, I think we're probably in a good place. You know, I don't think it's our desire to lower the prices and push in here for, you know, 99-cent taco night. You know, I think what we want to do is deliver a product that we're proud of, that you're proud of. You know, we love it when we hear somebody says, and we do hear a lot of this, and that's what helps us sleep at night, is that people do come in here with their guests and they really enjoy the experience. And so, but we've talked about a lot of specifics tonight, right? The Sundays and all the things that Susanna's taken us through tonight. Those are the things that we're gonna write in the letter. Those are the things we're gonna try to address. And this is a gigantic aircraft carrier, right? It takes 1 mile to turn an aircraft carrier, right? But I should be able to report to our board every single coordinate on that turn, right? What are we doing? What are we doing incrementally to make the turn on this gigantic aircraft carrier? And when do we get to where we're getting to? And that's really what we have to be able to determine and answer for the people that we serve. I feel very honored to serve. I've been in service for 30, 40 years, since I was about 13, actually, caddying. Service is a calling. You know, these are people, and the South is beautiful because people who are servers and bartenders and managers and maids and bag boys and people that serve on the golf course, it means something to them. They serve for a living. I would tell you the West Coast is much more transient, right? Servers are going to become doctors and lawyers and accountants, and they're coming and going. And we try to hold those people, but service is on. And our job is to serve you. That's our job. And I think we have the care factor to do that. Now we've got some things mechanically we need to do better that I think can change the dynamics of this community. So I'll close on that. I am honored to serve you. I'm honored to serve this staff. They deserve a manager who is participative and can help lift them up a little bit. And I am honored to be that person